Hello, my friends, and welcome to Metro TV and Happy New Year. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine and ALH Publications. We have a great show for you today, so don't go away. We will be right back. Well, welcome everybody. I'm here with Linda Toomey. She is the executive director for the Siena Francis House. Linda, it's so good to see you again.
It's good to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We were kind of doing some research on our end. Our last conversation was on March 24th, 2020. And we had just, we had done you guys were on our cover for our February issue, and we were kind of talking about the new building, but like we were talking just earlier before I hit record, that was about maybe 13 days or like a week and a half when the pandemic just kind of hit, at least our Omaha community. So what does a year ago look like to you?
Well, I think, last January, we were so excited. We had just moved into the new shelter building, and we were still, working out the new operations of being there, but had a great plan for how we were going to make the services side and the building work together. And shortly after that, COVID struck the community and the nation and the world, and we had to pivot pretty dramatically. However, I will say, due to the generosity of the Omaha community, we couldn't have been as successful in the past 12 months without the new building. Bigger bathrooms, more, hand washing stations, all of those things that, came to us. They have been a huge benefit to us throughout, our response to the pandemic.
So let me ask you this, because I think everybody probably knows who you are, but for those who don't, or maybe listening to this on a podcast or whatnot, Siena Francis House, give us your mission and kind of who do you serve?
So our mission is to empower people on their path to housing. So we serve adult men and women, single adult men and women, and we provide emergency shelter to those who have no place to live or stay. We also have an 80-bed residential substance abuse program we call Miracles. And then we have 48 apartments on our campus who are for disabled individuals who've experienced homelessness. So they tend to be people who have severe and persistent mental illness. So we do a variety of things. We also provide food to people who have food insecurity around the Siena Francis House area, including those who live on our campus, but also families and individuals off of our campus.
And how many people, let's go pre-COVID-19. How many people do you typically serve?
Yes. So on a typical day pre-COVID, we were serving about 500 or 525 people on our campus every day. The majority of those individuals were served in our emergency shelter, and that would have been about 400, 425.
All right. So are the numbers different post-COVID?
The numbers are different because the shelter program and the Miracles, the residential substance abuse program, they are congregate living. The shelter is really big dormitories that people live in. And in the Miracles program, we have 4 individuals to a room. So we've intentionally done some things to keep our census down, to keep people safe, because one of the core components of mitigating the virus was really social distancing. Mask wearing is also so important. So we've done some things. So that residential program, we've kept it at about 50% capacity the last year to make sure that people are safe. So we're super excited because it is a great resource to homeless individuals and the community of Omaha. We provide services to people for free in that program, which is a rarity in substance abuse. So the vaccine's going to hopefully allow us to get back up to a point where we can bring more people into that program, which means we can help more people people, which means more people recover from an addiction and go back to work in the community. So we're really excited about 2021 and the hope that vaccinations will be able to return us maybe back to not the normal life we had before,
Sure.
but a more normal life.
Yeah. And so, okay, so the Miracle Addiction Treatment and Recovery Program, I'm just looking at my notes. And then you have, so that's what you've been talking about right now.
Yes, that's what I've been talking about.
And then you have the cottages project plan.
Yeah. So before we go to the cottages, I just want to go back to your question about, are we seeing less people? We've actually also been seeing less people in shelter. So the winter time is when shelter generally is at its highest capacity. And we are probably at about 80% capacity versus last year we were at 100% capacity for women at this time. We were probably at 90 or 95% capacity. So we are seeing a few less in shelter. It's not a dramatic number, but we know that some people do not want to live in the close quarters. We've done some things to try to mitigate that. We also have a quarantine and isolation unit that we're operating in our old shelter building, and that's been a big gift to us this year. So we're constantly trying to figure out how to keep people social distancing, to keep kind of that number from getting to 100% because it's just not safe.
For sure. And do you think they're not, okay, so that brings up a question in my mind. Are they not coming to the shelter, like you said, because of the social distancing? Or do you feel like, are they going elsewhere, or where are they going?
So I think fear of the virus is a big piece, and just can I social distance? I don't want to be packed in with people. We've done a lot of protocol changes to increase social distancing. Like we leave the dorms open all day so people can be in their bed or be away from kind of the high density areas. We've changed how we do dinner service. We quit putting people in line. That queuing was leading to some of those issues. So we've done a lot of protocol changes to mitigate that. But, there's still the fear. And a lot of us have that fear, right? We don't want to be in a closed space with people we don't know and don't know where they've been. So we know that some people are choosing not to come into shelter, which means they're living outside. Our community has seen an increase of people who are living outside, either in encampments, their own cars, or things like that. And one of the responses that we've had as an organization is we've added some street outreach positions to make sure that we're getting out to those individuals. But I think one of the most important things that we're working on, particularly in the dead of winter, which we're having a great dead of winter this week.
We actually are. It's 50 degrees.
So it's hard maybe to relate to this, but we're working on opening a warming center for those individuals who don't want to come into shelter and don't want to necessarily sleep in a congregate living situation, where they can come in during the day, warm up. We can work with them on safety plans around where they're staying, make sure they get there safely, have transportation. So we actually have the warming center ready to go. We're going to open that warming center when it's 20 degrees or less, or that there's a weather advisory issued for our area. The couple of weather advisories that we had in December fell above that 20-degree mark. So we pivoted and said, hey, we really feel like we need to look at this again. So when we looked at it again, we just said, if there's a weather advisory issued, the warming center will be open.
Yeah. And again, like you said, pivoting, in the last, not quite 12 months, 10 months, has been so important to nonprofits because it's the uncertainty. We're in a time of uncertainty.
Yeah. That is so true. I think one of the things is in March, what we knew about COVID is a lot different than what we know today. We were really worried about surfaces and all of these things. And now we've learned that it's really a respiratory droplet. You almost have to be talking with someone in this 6 feet space. And, there still is some randomness to it, but we've learned so much more. So that helps. But I also think that every challenge makes us better, and the challenge of COVID has made us better in some ways. So there's some things that we've learned we won't go back to doing the other thing. For example, I talked a little bit about people standing in line at dinner. We've seen the stress in the dining room decreased by not having people stand in line.
Okay.
And dinner has been had less incidents and just been a little bit easier to manage for us the way that we started doing it to get rid of lines. So, in the future, when this is all over, we probably won't go back to our same way of doing dinner because it works better for our clients. And it
Yeah.
actually is working better for us now too. So, there's some challenges that we had that really, when it's all over, we're going to say, hey, that made us better. We learned some things from that.
I agree 100% with that. I just, yeah, there are things that have blossomed. I mean, out of what we've been dealing with as a community, as a nation, as the world, that actually are lifting us up versus, bringing us down. Um, so do you want, okay, so do you, the cottages project plan?
So I'd love to talk about that. So Siena Francis House is an organization. Everything we do is with the intention of ending homelessness. We
Hmm.
want to decrease the number of homeless people who are in our community. I think everybody in Omaha wants that. We don't want people to have a home. So in order to end homelessness, we have to have housing for people. We also have to have affordable housing. So
Yes.
our nation has an affordable housing crisis. I think that's been one of the things that COVID has really shown the light on and that we've all learned about. And our community also has an affordable housing crisis. So our cottages project would increase the number of affordable housing units in Omaha with 50 additional units. And those 50 additional units would be going to homeless individuals who don't have access to other housing. So we're
Okay.
really excited about this project. It actually would be to the north of our current campus. So it's just a stone throw away from us, which we feel like we need for efficiencies, like taking
Yeah.
care of the cottages, helping people with meals, all that kind of stuff. But we're working on tax credits and securing the funding for this project, which will be tax credits through the Nebraska Investment Finance Authority. We're hoping to receive those within a month. If we do receive those in a month, we would start like the final design and the work on the ground there, and then would hopefully be in a building stage in the summer. And if we
Okay.
can be in a building stage in the summer, we would be opening them the following summer. So we're really excited about this. We think, again, housing is a solution to homelessness. We want to be part of the solution. And this is growing the number of affordable units that our community needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so in our final minute or so, I want to talk to you. How can people in the community help? Because regardless of what's going on, we want to help and we want to contribute. So,
Yeah.
so what is the best way to help the Siena Francis House?
So one of the things COVID has done is it has increased our cost. We lost volunteers. We had to buy more
Yeah.
supplies, PPE, all of those things. So monetary donations are always welcome. You can go to sienafrancis.org, no house on that, and make a monetary donation. The other thing is our dock is open and available for donations. You can donate cleaning supplies, clothing, individual hygiene needs. We still have a lot of people here. We're averaging, 400 people still on our campus every day. So laundry detergent, we have a new laundry facility on our campus for people to do their laundry. So if you want to make a donation of a good like razors, socks, deodorant, you can bring those down to our docks. So there's a lot of ways that you can help us. And you can also find out what those high need items by going to sienafrancis.org or Share Omaha. We have an active list
Yep.
on Share Omaha, so you can check us out. You can also buy things through that Share Omaha platform and put them in your cart, and they come right to us. So there's some great options for helping us. And we do have some opportunities for volunteering. So if people want to help by volunteering their time, we would also love to have that discussion. You can call our volunteer coordinator or sign up online.
All right. So many things to talk about and so much great information, Linda. I just appreciate you coming on and chatting with me about this today. Um, you know, again, you're doing so much to help so many in the community, and so many people want to contribute. So again,
Uh,
Linda, thank you.
well, I think thank you for having us. I feel like I haven't seen you for a long
I
time, and
know.
and we just have an amazing team here. It was a really hard year, and the
Yeah.
success that we've had with continuing to serve people and keep people safe, it goes through, our staff are amazing folks who are doing this work day in and day out.
Yeah. And I know you have an amazing staff. So again, thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
welcome back, everyone. I am here with Sarah Sabalauskas. She is the Director of Development and Marketing for Project Houseworks, which is a great organization. So Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. We are happy to be here and to share the good word about Project Houseworks and everything that we're doing here in the community.
Yeah, so let's just start out. Project Houseworks, who do you serve? What's your mission?
So we serve low-income senior homeowners in Douglas and Sarpy County, and our mission is to keep them safe at home and age in place, and we do that by providing free home repairs and modifications so they are safe in their homes, and we remove any accessibility, mobility issues. So yeah, that's our purpose, is to keep our seniors safe at home and maintain their asset.
Which is so important. And I do want to mention, because you were Rebuild Omaha?
Rebuilding Together.
Okay, Rebuilding Together, Omaha. Just so people, because you just changed the name, and because a lot of people are familiar with that. And Project Houseworks, I mean, let's just look back a year from now. And I've been talking to a lot of nonprofits, because a year ago, things were different. And then, March 13th into March, COVID-19 really hit our community. I mean, the nation as well, but our community. So how has that changed how has your organization had to pivot with that?
Sure. So we, of course, we serve seniors, and they are one of the most vulnerable populations that has been affected by this. So we, along with the rest of, the city and state and country, we decided for the safety of our seniors, so we did close our offices for about 7 weeks. We worked remotely, but we continued to plan and to get all of our projects ready. So the moment we came back in the office, which I believe was May 4th, we hit the ground running. And this time has really shown us that the work we do is so imperative and more important than ever before, to keep our seniors safe at home so they aren't at a greater risk in some kind of facility. And so we feel very reinvigorated and even more dedicated to the work that we're doing. And because we are a smaller organization, we're lean and we're mean, but we're mighty and small.
You guys do a lot. You do so much. Yeah.
We do. Our construction crew, they just are so amazing and dedicated to the work we do. And so we did pivot, and we changed our focus from more outside exterior projects, so we could continue to serve and keep them safe, and like I said, remove any accessibility or safety areas of their home, but we just did it on the outside while we were not able to go work, do any interior work. So that would be concrete repair. We fixed roofs, gutters, any kind of sidewalk safety, trip hazards, handrails, new steps. So anything that we could do on the exterior to improve their safety, that was our focus while we were on pause.
Yeah. So let's just talk a little bit about you have 3 volunteer, I'm looking at my notes, you have 3 volunteer events
Yes.
that you do.
So we have our Warm the Metro program, which happens in the fall, and we partner with HACA, which is Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors Association, and they volunteer their time and oftentimes parts to make the repairs and even sometimes replacements. So it's a program for free furnace checks for
Okay.
our seniors that are enrolled with our program. And so that's a wonderful event. And then we also have Powering Hope, which I believe it's the IBEW Local 22 group. And
Okay.
might be, but so electricians that come together and also donate their time and talents to make sure that we are mitigating any electrical safety issues for homeowners that are currently enrolled in our programs as well. And then our big event, which is our huge public volunteer event, is Brush Up, which is happening on August 21st of this year. And in 2020, we celebrated 31 years
Wow.
of painting homes in Omaha, and we had almost 500 volunteers come out, and we had 31 teams, and we painted 24 homes, which was incredible considering the climate of the pandemic, and a lot of organizations and individuals didn't feel comfortable volunteering in terms of coming into close proximity with people. So the fact that we were even able to have an event was amazing, let alone to have almost 500 people come out and help us. That was just such a testament to our community and the vibrant, nonprofit and giving community that we have here in Omaha.
Absolutely. And, again, I'm just going to reiterate, and because the seniors, I mean, that's the people that you serve. I mean, they do need help with heating. They do need help with all these other things. And the Brush Up Nebraska, the Brush Up, event that you have, that's important. That's important. So I'm kind of going back and forth here, but so if somebody wants to volunteer for the Brush Up 2021, where do they go?
Well, they would contact me or just visit our website. So we are in the process of, recruiting our volunteer teams, and we want to make this event even bigger and better this year. So we need more volunteers, and of course, having that monetary support and a sponsorship to support the team, because it is our only fundraising event. It is an amazing volunteer event, but of course, the goal is to raise funds so we can serve even more seniors. So we encourage corporate sponsorships, we encourage church groups, any kind of community organization, any families, individuals, but really it's almost a challenge, like, hey, let's do this, let's donate our time, our talents, and if you have the monetary ability to do so as well, we just appreciate any and all support.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I've noticed. I mean, for a long time for this event, that corporations, like you said, whether it's a bank or it doesn't even matter what business you have, you engage your employees to come out and to paint a house.
Yes.
So I'm just so encouraging businesses to look at this, because it is a way to bring your people together that want to contribute. And then, you put the guidelines in place, the safety guidelines in place, for sure.
Yes, of course. And especially for lead paint, we're very cognizant of that. Of course, a lot of our seniors live in older homes, so that applies to them. So we have lead safety training. During our team leader training, we're very in depth and want to make sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable and that there's no risk to our volunteers, to our staff, or to our homeowners.
Yeah. And we might have touched on this because we've got about a minute or so to go. First, tell us about one of your homeowner stories.
So Mark, who is a veteran, and we did about $25,000 worth of work for Mark. And we do amazing projects every day, every week, every month, every year. But we always send out a homeowner survey, and his feedback that he sent us literally I get emotional talking about it, brought our entire staff to tears. And I'd like to read a little quote from him if
Sure.
I can share that with you,
Absolutely.
because it was just so moving. So he says, so we gave him a new HVAC system. We did electrical repairs, plumbing repairs. We really brought his home up. I don't want to say up to code, but we made it safe, incredibly safe for him. And he said, you have a halo over your head. This is all like a few dozen Christmases, birthdays, New Year's, all lumped into one, and then some. Might sound silly, but I will actually sleep better too, as I toss and turn some nights worrying about my porch harming someone in a collapse, my furnace quitting when it's 5 below, and my pipes freezing and breaking, or my old fuse box going up in flames when something power hungry turns on. All three being realistic concerns and all three expensive to resolve. And it's all resolved thanks to you. I cannot recall a single other time in my life where I was on the receiving end of this measure of kindness, and not even close. A giant boost to a sagging spirit.
Well, you know what, Sarah, I think that is like the perfect place to end this conversation, because that does just epitomize what Project Houseworks does for seniors. And I'm just, so grateful
Thank
for
you.
you and your organization.
And thank you for your support and for having us on. Like you said, maybe not a lot of people know the name Project Houseworks, but we just celebrated our 25th year serving seniors. And we're really proud of that. And we are so excited and ready to take on 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sarah, thank you again for coming on the show with me, and encourage everybody to visit your website. So
wonderful.
And we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks. Well, thank you, my friends, for joining me today. Be sure to like us on Facebook. It's Metro Magazine, all one word. Visit us at spiritofomaha.com, and I will see you back here next week.